So I've been kind of going through and actually essentially revisiting some of my older phones as I always do. And the funniest thing is I picked up my Samsung Galaxy S9, and what's so crazy is that this phone is still performing fairly decently well for how old this phone is, and it isn't even that bad of a phone still, which is so crazy. Now, the thing you have to keep in mind with a device like the Samsung Galaxy S9 is that it makes zero sense to buy a device like this right now. It is very old. It just is, there's nothing we can really do about it. But when I take a look at the Galaxy S9 as it holds up today, it's actually pretty insane, and I'm actually very surprised by it. Now, the build quality of this thing pretty much stems from the Galaxy S8. We all kind of know this. I think the Samsung Galaxy S8 was that bigger device that changed a lot more than what the Galaxy S9 did, but the fact that the Galaxy S9 was able to go through and pretty much improve on it a little bit was actually pretty cool. I think the display on the Galaxy S9 is still very decent. 5.8 inches, Super AMOLED. I mean, it's a very decent display. It's not perfect, but it definitely gets the job done. And I, for one, I'm still a big fan of the way the Galaxy S9 still kind of performs. And I still think it's a very decent phone from that perspective. USB-C on the bottom with the headphone jack and microSD card slot. That is also some very crazy I/O to have inside of a device. And once again, that in and of itself is a very cool thing that I love. And if I'm personally getting a phone, I would want a device that has that stuff. Obviously, there's not really a way to do that anymore. But at that time, that was. And that was a very cool thing that I actually did like a lot. Now, on top of that, with the Galaxy S9 on the back, we are getting that glass back, camera, fingerprint sensor, the whole 9 yards. Still a very good feeling phone for sure. Now, I think the area where it kind of is surprising at a little bit is actually kind of with the software. So even though Android 10 is fairly outdated and I would not recommend, using Android 10 anymore, it is actually still a very good, decent version of Android. And once again, I think that is something that stands out to me quite a bit. When I'm getting a phone like, a Galaxy S9, I want it to be able to perform at the highest levels for as long as possible. And within Android 10 with One UI 2.5, actually, it was actually a pretty good, decent performing device, which was honestly pretty good. Now, I would say on top of that, with the Galaxy S9's performance, it's definitely not the best, but it is decent, especially with the S9 Plus, I think that was a little bit better. But here with the Snapdragon 845 chipset, 4 gigs of RAM, definitely not an amazing performing device by any means. But I still think it's pretty good, and I think that in and of itself deserves the Galaxy S9 a little bit of credit. So I think overall, although I wouldn't recommend buying the Galaxy S9 anymore, it is still, it's not really that bad of a device, which honestly surprises me really more than anything else as of right now. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.